that sort of shook me. I was like, ये तो कभी नहीं करना वापस. The nervousness before hitting the stage is a very important part of a creative process.
Absolutely.
The day dies, I think the art finishes.
You can't achieve excellence, or you won't be able to excel in something unless until you have devoted some time to it. So yes, as I told you, our brain works on a certain level of frequency versus a Gen Z brain, so no comparison whatsoever. Would you be able to, create videos through artificial intelligence? Or can you come up with different videos? Can you create different tags? Or can you start playing cricket now? Or can you start playing chess now? Would you be able to do that? Would you be able to do justice to that particular profession?
If you give 10 years to the profession, right?
That's correct.
The first 5 years, your income will be lesser than your expenses. ये जैसे हर हिंदुस्तानी कहानी है, पगार आते ही खत्म हो गई. Can I be very honest with you?
Go ahead.
I think जब हम 15-20 साल के होते हैं, I also been, as I said, I've been overconfident and sold all my confidence under the shadows of overconfidence all my life. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा prep करके जा रहा हूँ. Mentally, not
Mentally, of course.
mentally. I'm very ready for that.
Yeah.
Hence, I don't believe, क्योंकि बहुत लोग feedback बस दे देते हैं. थोड़ा सा intelligent sound कर रहे हैं तो आओ feedback ही दे दें. In show business, you're not paid for doing the right job. You're paid to do the right job when everything is wrong.
You know that moment just before going on stage or hitting record, your heart is literally racing. Palms become sweaty and brain goes, what if I mess up? We've all been there. Students, professionals, even creators. But here's the twist. The person with me today took the same fear and made it his full-time career. He's hosted 50 plus global events, Sony Sports Network, जहां confidence optional नहीं होता, oxygen होता है. Welcome to On The Point. I'm Brajesh, and this is Stage Fear to Spotlight with Aman Sharma. Aman Sharma is a multi-talented man, a TV presenter, MC, and a content creator, known for his electric stage presence and super relatable confidence. स्कूल के दिनों में स्टेज पे फ्रीज करने से लेकर इंडिया के बिगेस्ट शो होस्ट करने तक, Aman's journey is all about turning fear into flow. Aman, welcome to On The Point. It's going to be a lot of fun interacting with you.
Thank you so much for having me, sir. Always a pleasure.
It's been a privilege.
Yeah.
So we'll just start with the story straight away.
Perfect.
So do you remember your first time on stage? What went right and what went wrong?
I very clearly remember what went wrong because you don't necessarily remember the rights, you remember the wrongs.
Yeah.
So this was in standard 8. When I was
Really?
I was in the 8th standard.
You must be what? What age? 12 years?
Yes, about
12,
14.
12, 13.
Yes,
Okay.
14.
Yeah.
And this was Republic Day. Up until then, I hadn't been introduced to this art form of public speaking.
Okay.
This was the first time, and I full credit to my English teacher,
Okay.
Mrs. Juliet Fernandez. May her soul rest in peace. And she was the one who told me, Aman, you can speak. And you know how all of this started? It's a very funny story. I was asked to read out William Shakespeare's one act in the class.
Okay.
And I was reading Etu Brute and all of that. And then ma'am was like, damn, you can speak? I was like, ye to aap bata rahe ho, mujhe to pata nahi tha. Well, then she was like, why don't you speak on Republic Day? I was like, all right, ma'am, you give me the speech. And I remember now I know it's called a gaffe, but earlier I didn't know it's called a gaffe. So basically, gaffe in a public speaking is when you sort of speak and you go and so it's technically called a gaffe.
Okay.
Yeah, this term was introduced by Barack Obama in his speeches. He was like, a public speaker shouldn't gaffe in between. So when you speak as a public speaker, you can't be like, hey, my name is Aman, and so and
Okay.
I remember that time I was gaffing a lot. On stage, I was like, friends, Indians, countrymen, and I was like, oh God, what am I doing? And everyone was looking at me like, this is part of speech hai nahi, ye kar kya raha hai? I was so nervous back in the days. So I remember that is something that sort of shook me. I was like, ye to kabhi nahi karna wapas. You better be very, very ready. if you're hitting the stage, because it's unlike a room, right? In a room you can practice and make mistakes, and
Correct.
and you're not subject to people's eyes and people's judgments. But
Yeah.
on stage, all of a sudden, like 3,000 pair of eyes looking at you and judging you at the same point of time, you were like, oh damn, what did I just do?
So this was your first time,
This was my first time.
Oh,
Yeah, it was my first
This
time.
was like these jitters were bound to happen, right? But
100%. I think I get this even now from a lot of people, that after speaking a lot, people still have the jitters, and I think that's part of life. But my first time was horrible. I remember I was shivering. I was like, oh, it was pretty bad for me. Yeah.
so when do you think you became confident on, how many such experiences,
I'll be
made you
very
more
honest.
Yeah.
Today I've done over I don't know, ऐसे कोई गिन तो नहीं रहा, but I'm sure over 1,000 shows I'm done.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So yes.
But I'm asking about when you say the first experience, jitters.
No, I'm saying I'm still nervous.
Okay.
Yes. So even today, right? And I think this, how do you put it? The nervousness before hitting the stage is a very important part of a creative process.
Absolutely.
The day dies, I think the art finishes.
Yeah.
Because you can't be bigger than the art.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
The day I just wake up and I'm like, oh, I have arrived, is when I don't think I'll ever speak anything more meaningful, because then it'll just, just be just about anything. As you know, I remember the great cricketer Adam Gilchrist, if you know.
That's correct.
The Australian wicket opener, wicket keeper.
Yeah.
He was once asked, how do you sort of prepare before you go into bat? Because at the time when it was the deadliest team, if you remember 2003 World Cup, that was a terror team.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to face the ball. So they were like, you're the one to take the pressure on.
That's correct.
How do you prep? He was like, I don't. I still get nervous every time I go into bat. He was the greatest opener of all times.
Yeah.
He was nervous. Who are we?
Absolutely.
So, and I sort of got this from him, that, that you could be great at what you do, but that nervousness is important. So I think even today, right, till the time I don't say the first word, I'm still a little jittery. But after you said the first word, you're like,
I should be with the flow, right?
Then you're with the flow. Yeah. Before that, I think you're always very nervous.
So what do you think? How have you, is there a hack or is there a formula before any big shoot, big stage kind of, program for you? What is the mental prep you guys, especially kind of, get into?
No, good you asked, because my prep is mainly mental. People have their preps. A lot of them are written, and a lot of them are in standing in front of the mirror and speaking out loud. I don't do any of that. My preparation is very mental.
Yeah.
And the way I see it is, I have learned by mistakes. I've done big mistakes on big stages, and I think I've learned out of my mistakes. And when you realize that, a big mistake in a candid setting can be okay, but a small mistake in a big setting is a huge thing.
It's a huge thing. Correct.
Hence, you understand that you cannot be wrong. And you sort of keep fine-tuning yourself show after show. So when, of course, I wasn't great at my language earlier. I was just a very confident kid who could speak. And I was blessed. People say that you have a good voice. So I'm like, chalo, theek hai, ye mic pe sahi aa jati hai. No credit to me. It's genetics. But I used to be very underconfident with my language. Because, see, the thing is, aap Hindi baat kar sakte hain, aap English baat kar sakte hain. But the Hindi and English we speak is not the one that is like, if I have to compare, one of the greatest orators of our time could be, let's say, as we said, Barack Obama, or for that matter, our Honorable Prime Minister. He's one of the greatest orators. He's one of the greatest orators. Like,
absolutely.
Pointing the finger to him, looking. I've
never seen him looking at the stage down, reading something and then talking. He's like,
he is, right? He is, yeah. So that is something, the language that they speak is a language I don't think I'll ever be able to speak. But when I started, I realized that every show I need to up my language. Because I remember I was doing Times Literature Festival. And for 4 years I did this. Back in the days, it's about 10 odd years now. And Anupam Kher was there.
Okay.
Yeah. So Anupam Kher, he was about to come up on stage. अब मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा है कि मुझे बोलना है the man who needs no introduction, the man who needs no introduction.
Correct.
मैंने स्टेज पे बोल दिया the man who deserves no introduction. I was like, oh, or they said, oh God. And you see, the weightage of it is big. You know, he deserves every bit of introduction, but he needs none. It's just that small word.
One word here and there. Yeah.
I came up on stage and first thing he said, deserve to karta hu. Maine kaha, sorry, you'll be away. It's like, yeah, this is 10, 12 years back. And then I realized that you constantly need to keep practicing. So my practice is a regular practice. When I practice off stage, I do not have like a 1 hour riyaz in the day or something like that. I'm just regularly conversing with people and sort of brushing up my skills every day. And this has been a practice for over 15 years now.
Sure.
So
your big hack here is that stay in the present moment, know your environment, familiarize yourself.
I think the biggest hack is learn from life, learn from interactions with people. The art form that I am in is not a classroom sort of a learning.
Correct.
You know, now that I'm sitting and speaking with you, I'm also learning more.
Absolutely.
That, you know, every person has something to offer. And when you sort of take the goods from a lot of people and put it into your language, it just becomes better, right? Because one of the greatest hacks for any public speaker is try to speak one word instead of 10. Hence, a wonderful speaker like a Shashi Tharoor, right?
Yeah.
उनके तो वर्ड के हमें मतलब भी नहीं पता होते आधे से ज्यादा टाइप.
Yeah. So you'll Google it or
put on stage with him one of my shows, and they asked me to stop him midway because he had a flight to catch, and I was like, उनकी फ्लाइट है, उनको छोड़ देना चाहिए. मुझे तो समझ भी नहीं आ रहा वो बोल क्या रहे हैं. How do I even interrupt a man that is speaking these sick morning words? We were like, ये बोला क्या है? ये समझ में नहीं आया, हमारे रोके कैसे इन्हें?
Yeah.
So, you know, that is a great hack. Try to learn the big words. Try to learn, don't speak too much. Speak lesser, but speak impactful.
Sure.
A lot of public speakers go, I just want to speak. That's not public speaking. It's not impactful at all. So I learned from life, you know, when you speak with people, I know कि अगर मैं 15 सेकंड से ज्यादा बात करूंगा आप इंटरेस्ट खो देंगे.
Yeah, end of the day, people should hear you, not listen. I mean,
Exactly.
You know, kind of.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So they should listen you more than like of hearing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So impactful words, and you learn this out of your everyday conversations. अगर आपके घर पे आपके जो लेट्स से हाउस हेल्प है, आप वही उन्हें एक काम समझा रहे हो और 15 मिनट तक समझा रहे हैं, वही एक काम 1 मिनट में भी समझाया जा सकता है. That is also part of efficient speaking. You know, you need to know how to efficiently speak lesser, not too much. Otherwise, it becomes a
So the hack, what I am getting to know
Yeah.
from you is that think before you speak. Obviously, it is very old saying though, but at least you'll have to reflect on what you have to talk.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
You can't be thinking on the go while you're speaking. You need to know what you're speaking. And hence they say it's okay being calm, composed, take your time before you speak rather than just speaking anything. Because a lot of gyanis of communication will come and say, oh no, you know, you can't take a pause. Please take a pause.
Absolutely.
It's better to think and understand and speak. Yeah, absolutely. Because you just don't want to keep speaking, right? It loses its context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like speed with precision you need. So to achieve precision, you know, you'll have to...
In my profession, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I have to now speak with speed and precision and make it impactful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So Aman, confidence की बात करते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Confidence and overconfidence. Is there a thin line? Yeah, make it till you or fake it till you make it is the mantra.
Sir, I think मेरे लिए तो fake it till you make it worked very well. It worked really, really well for me because and I always say this, there is no universal answer to this. It's a subjective question. A lot of times, you see, confidence doesn't just come out of being a great performer. Confidence comes out of being a good human being, being an overall amazing person. You know, confidence comes out. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, I am just recently married. Okay,
congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Just recently, 7 months now. I'm married. I feel a different level of stability now. I feel a little too confident now. Because because somehow I think I've found more gravity in life.
Sure.
So I personally believe it's not just your art that adds to your confidence. It's also a lot of things around your life that adds more confidence to it.
So you don't have to fake it anymore.
Yeah, I think now I don't have to fake it anymore. But for a very long time, I faked it. कि मुझे बहुत डर लग रहा होता था, but मैं सामने कहता था, ना, I'm very confident because it also revolves around my business, right? I can't be the one saying I'm not confident. there's money riding on me. There's people putting me up on stage.
Absolutely.
The last thing they would expect is the presenter of the show saying कि अरे इनकी खुद की हालत खराब हो रखी है. So ये कहाँ से? But हो रखी है हालत खराब, you know, because अब आप बैठे हो यहाँ पे और सामने आके अमिताभ बच्चन बैठ गए. आप कितने भी confident इंसान होगे, you know, the aura will hit you.
Absolutely.
You're gonna be like, मैं क्या बोलूँ ऐसा? And more often than not, in such times, you try to speak very, very intelligent. I'm sure आपके भी लाइफ में ये हुआ होगा कि वो मोमेंट था जब बॉस को इम्प्रेस करने के लिए सबसे अच्छी चीज बोलनी थी और उस वक्त हम सबसे घटिया चीज बोल के आ जाए.
Absolutely. So that's they are honestly in our profession, in the corporate world, preparation. Slight preparation is important.
Exactly. But I think overconfidence in the beginning is important because it's a cutthroat world today. You know, take the greatest example of Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh sir हमेशा चिल्ला के कह रहे हैं कि I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. But if you sit with him and you talk to him, then you'll understand कि he's saying it so that he puts pressure on himself to be better every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So it's a self-imposed
thing.
Target on himself, you know.
Because I don't think there's anyone bigger in criticism than you yourself. You are your biggest critic. Because if you do a wrong podcast, let's say case in point us, let's say if you don't do a great podcast today, रात को जब आप सोएंगे, it's going to eat at the back of your mind. You know, it sort of then bothers. So for any creative person, you can't let your vulnerabilities be out. And hence, a lot of creative people are sometimes understood as overconfident. But I think वो करना पड़ता है. आप सच नहीं बता सकते, हाँ मैं थोड़ा under prepared हूँ. ऐसा बोल दे तो काम ही नहीं मिलेगा. So fake it for some time.
Yeah.
But eventually, over time,
keep learning.
Yes, you keep learning and then you become confident. Like today, I know if there is, let's say, a union minister also and comes and, sits in front of me, I know what to speak. Because I've learned out of the mistakes I've done.
Correct.
And
that's what makes you grounded, right?
100%.
So
100%.
So on the job learning, so say, it's like every day.
It's life, right?
So social media ki, I mean, this is the world we live in, and that's a reality.
Yeah.
Do you think in this very cutthroat world you just mentioned, social media has actually added to the pressure? I mean, the performance anxiety, so to say, it's more?
100%.
Yeah. So what is your hack to kind of overcome this?
Sir, I personally have a very good hack. I don't see other people's posts. I tell you why. Because it affects me psychologically.
That's correct.
I was in fact just making a video recently where if you want to be happy, the first thing you do in the morning, right? And it's a very unfortunate thing everyone does today. First thing you wake up in the morning is you go to Instagram and you start scrolling. You're looking at unnecessary faces you do not want to see. It's like I've been put to sleep in a room with 100 people I don't like.
Yeah.
So when I wake up, अगर मैं left में देखूंगा, right में देखूंगा, ये चेहरे ही मुझे नहीं पसंद, तो मेरा तो दिन खराब ही होगा.
Absolutely correct.
But that is what everyone is doing. You wake up and even before your eyes are open, your phone is scrolling. And that is an unfortunate truth for today.
Yeah.
I personally tell this to everyone. If you want to be happy, the first thing is something you don't want to see on social media. Because it does two things. A, it sets the mood for the day. B, it puts you under a lot of pressure. To give an example, let's say I did 10 shows back to back, Malaysia, Vietnam, India, blah, 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 blah. I come back and I rest and I sleep. I've had an accomplishing tour. I've come back home, I'm sleep. अब मैं उठा और मैंने देखा कोई और अभी भी काम कर रहा है. हमने अरे यार मैं घर पे हूँ, ये काम कर रहा है. You totally forget the fact that for the last 10 days you've done amazing work. It puts unwanted pressure on you. And then this hustle culture has now come up. Keep working, keep working, keep working. Nikhil Kamath just said in one of the podcasts, hard work isn't the key. Smart work is the key.
Absolutely, yeah.
But when you see a lot of people just working hard, मतलब ये तो सर गधे की दौड़ हो रही है अब तो. कि तुम भी भाग रहे हो तो मैं भी भाग रहा हूँ तो मैं भी भाग रहा हूँ, but कहाँ भाग रहे हो? वो तो देखो. And hence, social media adds a lot of unwanted pressure. You should not follow everyone and just be like, अच्छा आज मैं ये शूट पे हूँ, कोई और वो शूट पे, मैं वहाँ पे क्यों नहीं हूँ? वो ये शो कर रहा है, मैं क्यों नहीं?
Undue comparisons.
Undue comparisons. Right? And unwanted. You should be grateful for what you've done and not desirable of what the others want. वाह क्या लाइन आ गई, ये तो randomly आ गई सर. देखो, what a good thing. Yeah, just in the flow, it's just happening.
Absolutely. So it's an very old saying.
Yeah.
Looks preaching at times.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
Of course.
So maybe you're doing one show in a month versus 20 show in a month, if one show is giving you a satisfaction, and that is good enough. And I think it will come out very well also in your performance.
100%. But I think quality over quantity comes from a position of privilege. Again, because I think I've been on both spectrums of life. I come from absolute humble beginnings. I have done my quantity work. मैंने साल के 300 शो भी किए. Now I'm doing 40 or 50 shows.
300 shows?
Yeah.
Really? How is it practical? Did you use artificial intelligence?
And unfortunately, it wasn't. Back in the days, it was very, very physical. I had I've broken every part of my body by just sitting in flights. It's such a weird thing, sitting in flights, people find a point of privilege. But beyond the point, I remember 300 shows I did, and you're sitting like this for 8 and 12 hours, your body is gone for a toss.
Right.
So I think quality over quantity comes after you have
gone through the
quantity.
Yeah.
Quality will only come then. Hence, I say it's a point of privilege.
It's like grinding, right?
It's like
you have to go through the grind.
Yeah,
it's a
you
process.
have to, 100%. So I'm sure with your experience in life, you can now perhaps say that, you can be an entrepreneur for the last 3 years. But I think over 20, 25 years, you've dealt with quantity yourself, right? So quality comes. I think now is the time we should change these phrases. ये हम हमेशा से सीखते आए हैं. इसमें थोड़ा और meaning add कर देते हैं. That quality comes after you've done a lot of quantity.
Yes.
It's a position you achieve.
I mean, it's very easy to say, but being a beginner in any you don't have a choice.
तो सामने वाले हमको बेवकूफ है.
Exactly. choice ही नहीं है ना.
Exactly.
जो मिले वो लेना है, and especially in the field of yours,
Exactly.
It's huge competition.
My field, I think your field, being a banker,
I think.
Had you gone to your boss and said, sir, I'll do quality work, आप ज़्यादा quantity मत दो. तो
you're the first. Demonstrate, right?
Exactly.
What your skills are.
Exactly. So
at times you don't have a choice. You have to go through everything, whatever it's coming on your way. Right?
100%. And I think my dad gave me the greatest hack to this. He said, अगर आपको कोई 10 रुपए के काम के लिए बुला रहा है, तो 1 लाख रुपए का काम करके हो.
Yeah.
तब आपको क्वालिटी वर्क भी मिले.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely.
तो
फिर 1 लाख वाले देख रहे होंगे.
Exactly.
हाँ.
अगर आपको 10 रुपए का काम दे रहे हैं, आप 5 रुपए का डिलीवर करके आ रहे हो, आपको क्वालिटी काम क्यों देगा कोई? आपका आउटपुट ही नहीं अच्छा.
This is applicable to even the peers I have or the employees we have also in our company. While you've been paid less, but try and demonstrate the work you're doing much more, so that when the company can afford, you will be suitably rewarded.
100%. I'm just going to reverse the podcast at the moment. I've heard, since you're an entrepreneur, I'm just trying to get my knowledge here.
Sure.
I've heard a lot of people complain about the Gen Z people working and that they aren't the best of task force. What is your take on it? I just want to know myself.
I think I won't say they are not the best of task force. They're very smart people. Let me tell you that. And they're smarter than any of us.
Okay.
It keeps me on my edge that I need to continue to learn, by the way.
Ooh.
Let me tell you.
That's a different perspective.
No, yeah, seriously. I'm being honest because I am, as you rightly said, every day you have to learn, and that's what keeps me, awake at night, that you have to learn new things.
Yeah.
One thing which I must say that stability is missing. As you rightly said during your initial conversation points we were discussing, social media adds a lot of comparison, undue comparison.
Yes.
So what is happening is that, especially with the Gen Z, while they're into a continuous scroll, they're seeing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Undue exposure. Too much to process for a break.
Exactly.
Too much to process.
And they're very naive to even process so much.
I don't blame
them.
When too much of an exposure, they're not being able to make a balance between what is right and what could be right and what could be wrong, right?
Correct.
So that's why they keep on jumping things. They're not being able to put a focus on a given task.
Yeah.
And that's why the productivity is not coming. And the productivity is not coming in any corporate sector, whatever. Nobody is going to give you a free lunch, right?
Wow.
So by that time, you are either forced out or you will always say, yaar, I'm not getting my mojo. Let me just look for something else. एंड नौकरी और पता नहीं 10,000 आजकल वेबसाइट्स हैं. आप एक अब सीवी डालते हो, सो एआई से सीवी बन जाता है, सब कुछ हो जाता है.
Life is easier.
Life is much easier and the job options are also okay. But what is happening? They've become job jumpers because of this.
Very true. Very true.
Somewhere they need to draw a line.
I was speaking to one of these Gen Z very bright kid, and he had a very different perspective, and I think I was also sold for that idea for that moment. You know, when you say job jumpers, I personally think that these people now know 30 ways of making money more than us.
That's fine. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when I started, and I'm sure when you started was maybe even more, way back in time.
Yeah.
Making money wasn't, you couldn't make money out of 100 ways.
Absolutely.
There were just stereotypical 4 or 5 ways.
Absolutely.
Beta doctor ban jao, engineer ban jao, banker ban jao.
Yeah.
Then comes our times. Now there's a profession that I didn't know existed so well, and now I'm making a living out of it.
Yeah.
Gen Z has now another 50 ways of making money, just this influencer culture and social media.
Correct.
So I think when they are job jumpers, right, they're also jumping for bigger money, because do you think access to money has become more easy now? Because that guy gave me a very different perspective. He's like, Aman bhai, tell me something. If I'm getting paid more, why would I stick around? I was like, it's a two-edged sword, you know?
No, paying is something, as you rightly said, money is not the everything.
Yeah.
But given a point in time, you can't achieve excellence, or you won't be able to excel in something unless until you have devoted some time to it. I come from a very old school of thought.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, try and achieve excellence, honestly.
Correct.
So yes, as I told you, our brain works on a certain level of frequency versus the Gen Z brain. So no comparison whatsoever. Maybe, we work with a Celeron processor in our brain and they have an Intel plate.
Yeah, they are like i8, i9. Yeah, right.
So I no comparison whatsoever. But having said that, multitasking versus a singular or a dual tasking, whatever, it focuses you towards the excellence.
Wow.
Eventually, you also should, like, for case an example is yours only. You have gone through the grinding, and you have kind of perfected your art. That
just
any stage, just about. Well, you're confident, right?
Yeah.
So you can be given any stage, any platform. You'll be able to talk. You'll be able to relate. You'll be able to create some impact. Why and how? Because there is a journey behind.
You've done the grind.
You've done the grind of a particular art.
Yeah.
But suppose if I were to tell you, Aman, would you be able to, create videos through artificial intelligence? Or can you come up with different videos? Can you create different ads? Or can you start playing cricket now? Or can you start playing chess now? There is a money available. Would you be able to do that? Would you be able to do justice to that particular profession?
I see where you're getting, yeah.
So as simple as that. So that's why I'm saying, while they jump n number of jobs, that's fine. But somewhere the line needs to be drawn, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is your identity?
Yeah.
Over a period of time, say 3 years, 4 years, what are you becoming as an individual?
In fact, a very dear friend of mine used to be a pure hustler. I remember when we were at parties, he used to be the one sitting on the laptop, and about 8 years ago, he was trying to perfect SEO. When SEO was sort of growing in, the search engine optimization was sort of just started. तब वो सब करता था, तो हमें लगता था कैसा लड़का है, ये क्या कर रहा है, कुछ भी बैठे-बैठे कर रहा है. Today, he's a multi-millionaire. He's got houses in Dubai, London, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And he told me a very nice thing, which I sort of relate to, is if you give 10 years to the profession, right?
That's correct.
The first 5 years, your income will be lesser than your expenses. ये जैसे हर हिंदुस्तानी की कहानी है, पगार आते ही खत्म हो गई. So the first few years is all our stories. And I think for the longest time of my life, I've lived that way. यार पैसे आए थे तो ज़्यादा खर्च हो गए. Then comes the other 5 years when it sort of comes into balance. Then comes the final one after 10 years when the money comes multifolds. And the money will come multifold only if you've given so much time. And then it comes in abundance. Then you don't have to think about it. So you've got to give 10 years to something for the money to come in. As you rightly said, you can't keep jumping. Absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But somewhere you need to understand what is your profession? What are you going to be famous for?
Correct.
You can't be famous for 10 things, right?
Yeah. Right? Can I be very honest with you?
Go ahead.
I think जब हम 15-20 साल के होते हैं, I also been, as I said, I've been overconfident and sold all my confidence under the shadows of overconfidence all my life. But when you come closer to a 30, right, is when you realize जो बड़े कहते थे तो सही थे.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everyone's life.
So it's a journey.
Yeah, it's part of every 20-year-old who's watching this right now. I am sure they think they are right. They should think also that way.
Yeah, this is important for us.
Be the rebel. Think your way. बट जब आप 30 के हो गए ना तब कहीं ना कहीं दोस्तों के साथ बैठ के आप बात कर सकते, देखो वैसे तो सही कह रहे थे वो, गलत तो नहीं बोल रहे थे, सही कह रहे थे, बातें तो सही आ रहे थे वो.
What I like about the energy which this generation has, and so much of exposure, so much of multitasking skilling. This is a big boon, let me tell you.
Oh, it is.
I'm always on for multi-skilling.
Okay.
Because general manager will survive. You know, a single, I would say, skill you have, and if it doesn't work, then what do you want to do? So multi-skilling is important, and that's where the learning, keeps on coming. I never knew that I'll ever become a podcaster. Let me tell you that.
And you're killing it. Let me tell you, you're being it, totally killing it.
Oh my God! Thank you for it is coming out from you. You know, it means a lot. But having said that, the show is about you today. Okay, so we'll come back to that. A certain set of questions, we take questions from our audience, which are students, parents, even young executives doing just about started their careers in terms of jobs or whatever. So what is a good advice for them? Now, suppose a student or a working professional giving a, presentation to a board or whatever, to even for an investor or whatever, in early stage entrepreneur, to stay confident, what is the good hack you want to
don't tell people you're nervous, but practice as if you're the most nervous man. This is my biggest hack. मैं आपको कभी पता नहीं चलने दूंगा मैं नर्वस हूँ, बट जैसे ही पर्दे बंद हो जाएंगे मैं इतनी प्रैक्टिस करूंगा कि जब मैं बाहर आऊँ, I look very confident.
Very confident.
Behind the scenes, you have to practice. There is no way you're getting anything without practice. But at the same time, don't let the world know you're practicing. Because
that's a good one.
The day you let your vulnerabilities out, people will take you for a ride. And अगर आपने मुझे बता दिया कि मुझे पॉडकास्ट में ये इशू, मैं तो बिना मतलब आपको ज्ञान देने लग जाऊंगा कि सर ये भी करो, ये भी करो, ये भी करो, ये भी करो.
Absolutely.
But if I have practiced enough behind the scenes and I don't ask only, then I come as a very confident person. But that comes if you've practiced enough. Now here's a theory I personally have. I don't believe in feedback. I don't.
Okay.
Because feedback, there's two things to it. So I'll explain why. A, because my preparation is far more than anyone, and I know it. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा prep करके जाता हूँ. Mentally, not very.
Mentally, of course.
Mentally, I'm very ready for that.
Yeah.
Hence, I don't believe, क्योंकि बहुत लोग feedback बस दे देते, क्योंकि ज्ञान देना है, थोड़ा सा इंटेलिजेंट साउंड करना है, तो आओ फीडबैक ही दे दे. एंड व्हेन यू सॉर्ट ऑफ गो एंड आस्क, राइट, अच्छा आपको ये सही लगा या गलत, लोगों को हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ तो गलत लगता ही है. दैट यू विल नो इफ यू हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग. यू विल नो इट योरसेल्फ इफ यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड वेरी वेल फॉर इट.
करेक्ट.
जैसे अगर आप आज एक पॉडकास्ट के लिए बहुत तैयारी करके आए और आपने कुछ गलत किया, कैमरा के पीछे बैठे हुए उतना नहीं समझेंगे जितना आप खुद समझेंगे.
Exactly, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's like, मुझे मालूम है. Don't teach me my job. This is what I do for a living.
Absolutely.
So randomly feedback लोगों से नहीं लेना चाहिए जब preparation आपका है. अगर preparation सबके साथ है, तब feedback लेने का मतलब बनता है. You know? Otherwise, people just give you anything and your confidence goes for a toss.
Nice line पढ़ी थी कहीं पे.
हाँ जी.
वो काफी अच्छी लाइन लगी आपने. बना लोग, तो लाइन ऐसे है, सबसे बुरा रोग कि क्या कहेंगे लोग.
Oh, yes.
Right?
It is.
It works.
It does.
It works. You know what you have to prepare.
100%.
So do that. 100%. And once you've done that, then things will come.
People's validation is a big thing.
Big thing.
It's a huge thing. And I don't understand. Nowadays, we get millions of views on social media thanks to the algorithm.
Correct.
But I remember I was with Ranvijay. And Ranvijay, मैं और Nuclear, there's a very famous DJ, Nuclear. Used to, now he doesn't play very much, but we were at a show. And Ranvijay was like कि तेरे को पता है अगर मुझे 100,000 लोग सोशल मीडिया पे लाइक कर रहे हैं, तो मैं उसको लाइटली ले लेता हूँ. पर वो एक आदमी जो गंदा कमेंट करता है ना, मैं उसके लिए मेरा दिन खराब कर देता हूँ. And then I was like कि रन भाई बात तो सही है ना, मतलब कोई ऐसे कैसे लिख सकता है गलत, because I was also this young sort of a rebel. हमने तू गलत लिख के तो बता, मेरे पोस्ट पे मैं देख लूंगा तुझे, you know, all of that. He was like, तू ये भूल रहा है कि 1,000 लोग तेरी तारीफ भी कर रहे हैं. Now imagine the social media likes of 1,000 people is one thing. But if you are doing a podcast and 1,000 people start clapping for you, 1,000 people liking you is a very big thing.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. People would see, अच्छा वो एक आदमी ने गलत लिखा वो खराब है. So in this age of social media, validation का power लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता है. 100 लोग भी like करना is a big
thing.
like
Absolutely.
100 लोग मिलके आपके लिए ताली अगर बजा रहे हैं, you will be like, oh my god,
Which means you've done something right.
something great. So ये सब चीजें जो है ना लोग सोशल मीडिया की वजह से समझते नहीं है ज्यादा अच्छे से कि अब वैलिडेशन सबको सही वैलिडेशन ही चाहिए. Hence, coming back to the same point, सबसे वैलिडेशन लेने की आपको जरूरत नहीं है. आपका प्रेप है, आपका प्रोडक्ट है, आपका डिलीवरी है, आपका फीडबैक है. Sometimes feedback works, but not all the time.
अमन, एक कोई ऐसा शो याद है आपको सब कुछ गलत हो गया उस?
सर बहुत सारे.
सबसे
ये-
यूनिक एक्सपीरियंस.
ये एक ऐसा पॉडकास्ट है इसमें मतलब गाली वाली देते हैं लोग नहीं, ये तो एजुकेशन वाला है तो इसमें तो नहीं दे सकते.
मेरा ऑडियंस बेसिकली कौन है? मैं स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, उनके पेरेंट्स के लिए, यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए, इवन और कोई देखना चाहे तो मोस्ट बट बीइंग इन द एजुकेशन फाइनेंस कंपनी, दिस इज व्हाट आई थिंक meaningful thing we want to do, you know.
Whew. Let's get back to that day then. It was a horrible summer after. I'm just gonna glorify it.
Okay.
So I was doing a WWE का event कर रहा था.
Okay.
And Big Show, India, I think, the famous wrestler Big Show, was in India. तो मैं Big Show के साथ था अंधेरी हार्ड रॉक कैफे में. वहां से सारे 10 स्पोर्ट्स के एग्जीक्यूटिव मिल लिए थे. सीनियर in Mumbai, yeah.
Yeah, most of my audience are not from Mumbai. I just want to say,
Absolutely. The Mumbai audience, we also give you context that between the two shows, that was Andheri and Malad, in peak traffic time is a lot. जो बिग शो को नहीं पता, तो वो तो सैंडविच खाने बैठ गया 5 बजे अंधेरी में. उन्हें लगा वो 6:30 बजे इनऑर्बिट मॉल मलाड पहुंच जाएंगे.
अच्छा.
6:30 बजे मुझे शो शुरू करना था. I go up on stage 6:30 sharp. 25,000 people in the crowd.
Wow.
इनऑर्बिट शॉपिंग मॉल की पूरी पार्किंग लॉट लोगों से भरी हुई. 25,000 लोग आए हैं बिग शो को देखने के लिए. WWE is still very big. Back in the days, it was even bigger.
Rage.
Yeah, it was a rage. Big show is coming. लोग पागल हुए जा रहे हैं.
Yeah.
मुझे आके कोई साइड से कहता है बिग शो 6:30 बजे अंधेरी से निकला है. He is going to take 2 hours to reach Malad.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, 25,000 लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं.
Oh.
मैं शाहरुख खान भी अगर होऊंगा ना तो कोई भी मैं 2 घंटा 25,000 लोग को एंटरटेन नहीं कर सकता. I'll have to be Michael Jackson for that. शायद वो भी ना कर पाते.
Correct.
2 घंटा जब उनके लिए क्राउड नहीं.
So then what happened?
So I'll tell you what happened. लोगों ने गालियां देना शुरू किया. मैंने 1 घंटा पूरा अच्छे से कर लिया. कुछ करके गुडीज फेंक रहे हैं. We're doing random things, नाच रहे हैं, कूद रहे हैं, वो सब हो गया. अब क्या करे इंसान beyond the point?
You didn't play the music.
No, we did all of it. But sir, एक बात बताओ, आप जिस चीज के लिए आए हो, in a city like Mumbai,
You're paid for.
in a city like Mumbai, आप अगर एक कॉन्सर्ट के लिए जाओ जो 6 बजे शुरू होना है, 8:30 तक आर्टिस्ट ही नहीं आया है, तो ऑडियंस सब ना रुकेगी.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, time is currency to everyone.
Absolutely.
And वो मुझे तो देखने आया नहीं है, फिर मैं कितना भी entertaining कुछ कर लूं, they're not going to look at me. For those 2 hours, people started abusing.
Nice.
After 1 hour, 12,500 people went anchor, and 12,500 people said something I can't say on the podcast.
Wow.
So it was a anchor, TT, anchor, tata, anchor, beep, beep, anchor. And it was loud. And ये मेरा दूसरा साल है प्रोफेशन का. And this was huge to me. जूते उड़ के आ रहे हैं, you know, टी-शर्ट्स ऐसे लोग फेंके जा रहे हैं वापस, नहीं चाहिए रखो तुम वापस, because we are here for. And I was like, bro. Then came this wonderful person from 10 Sports. This guy's name was Vishal. He came and he said something very nice to me, which made me relax. They were like, फिकर मत कर, ये तुझ पे गुस्सा नहीं है.
Absolutely.
तू बस जरिया है कि ये गुस्सा कर पा रहे हैं.
Conduit है.
Don't take it personally. They're not upset on you. They're upset on the entire, you're just the face of it, hence it's coming on to you. अगर वो नहीं कहते ना वो, तो शायद मैं अपने आप को बहुत सीरियसली लेने लग जाता उस दिन. Because it's not an easy thing for 12,500 people to abuse you at the same point.
Absolutely.
And you're on stage. Your confidence shatters. But I took it on my chin. I was like, आपकी बात तो सही है. आप तो फिर भी अच्छे हो रहे हो कि आधे लोग ही गाली दे रहे हो, मैं होता तो सब मिलके गाली देते, you know. I took it on my chin and I was like, यार गलत थोड़ी कह रहे हैं वो, 2 घंटा रुके हैं, उनकी गलती नहीं, वो बस भी थोड़ा चाहते हैं मुझे. So when I started making fun of it ना, life थोड़ी easy हो गई. I got 2 very important life lessons that day. One, you don't have to take life very, very seriously. It's not very important. It's a day.
It's a day.
Take it as a day.
Yeah. And it'll pass.
It'll pass.
It'll pass.
You know, बच्चन सर कहते हैं ये भी समय निकल जाए. Don't take life too seriously. And second, and the most important thing that I learned that day is in the most atrocious times, right? Have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Have a sense of humor towards life also. You can't be all that serious about life.
Absolutely.
Take it with a sense of humor. गलत हो गया, हाँ भाई गलत हो गया यार, अब क्या करूँ मैं, अब क्या करूँ, क्या कर ही जा सकते हो आप लाइफ के बारे में. बट अगर आप ऐसे बैठ और यार ये होगा, मेरी जिंदगी खत्म हो गई, मेरे ये गलत हो जाता है. Have a little bit of a sense of humor in life. Don't be the person मेरे साथ ही क्यों गलत हो रहा है, सबके साथ गलत हो रहा है, बस तुम्हें पता नहीं है.
Absolutely.
गलत सबके साथ हो रहा है. So I learned these 2 very important things. Don't take life so seriously, and sense of humor is very, very important.
Excellent.
Like, take it on your chin. ठीक है, कोई पर्सनल नहीं है इतना. That was a horrible day for me, to be very honest. I still, मैं कान में वो अभी भी सुन रही है गालियाँ, पर बता नहीं रहा हूँ माइक पे, but मुझे अभी भी सुनाई दे रही है.
That experience must have grounded you big time.
100%.
In the hindsight, if you look at it,
Yeah.
if that experience wouldn't have happened,
Yeah.
the learning wouldn't have come. The foundation, what you actually wanted to build.
And good you asked. That experience also taught me one more thing. You should also have contingency plans ready.
Yes. Yes.
उस दिन मैंने जो सब प्लान किया था वो सही नहीं गया था. So I need to have more and more to give. When I say contingency option, I don't mean कि दूसरी नौकरियां देखने लग जाओ. No. In the same way आपको वो काम 10 और तरीके से करना आना चाहिए. और वो आता है विद एक्सपीरियंस. शायद उस वक्त मेरे पास इतना था नहीं, मैंने बस शुरू किया था. शायद आज अगर मैं वो सिचुएशन में हूँ, I would handle it much better. But you should know to do the same work in 10 different ways and package it very well. So that people
So you think there also, it's a good hack, while you are, if you as a student or an, or an entrepreneur or even for anybody who's going for a big event.
Yeah.
You should plan the contingency there.
100%.
What if the mic fails? What if the light
100%.
goes? What if the guest doesn't come?
100%.
What are you going to do? So I think plan A, B, C should be in place. There's no harm in at least thinking on those lines.
100%. And I think this is the 3rd time I'm naming him in the podcast, but I am a huge, huge, huge fan of the former President Barack Obama.
Oh yeah.
I love the way he speaks. And his greatest hack for a public speak is start with a joke.
Yeah.
Start with a joke.
As you said, humor.
Yeah. Humor. Start with a joke. You remember that very, that video that this one public rally of our Honorable Prime Minister, he was speaking and his mic went off. तो वो माइक पे ऐसे बजाने लग गए कुछ और वो कुछ मस्ती करने लग गए. These are those contingencies you don't plan, but that became a big thing on social media. कि अरे ये देखो ये तो कुछ भी करने लग गए. ये मतलब इसको ऐसे पकड़ के in the moment मोदी जी इसको कैसे funny बना देते हैं.
Absolutely.
But I think that is very important.
That's very important.
Because ये वो contingencies आप plan नहीं कर सकते. जैसे this one time Barack Obama was speaking और उनका वो president seal podium के आगे से गिर गया. And then he made a joke about it.
Absolutely.
He was like, and there goes my presidency. So you need to be at that moment. So having a little touch of humor also makes it relatable because वो room को थोड़ा light करो. वरना आप ऐसी बात करो कि मैं तो ये बोलने आया, मैं तो सुनने वाला भी डर जाएगा, बोलने वाला भी डर जाएगा, तो मतलब ही नहीं.
कितना heavy आना.
Exactly. Start with a joke. Make it funny. Always, if you saw this recent video of the our air marshal, air commander, I'm not getting the designation right. He started the speech on a very light note, addressing the entire Air Force.
Yeah.
He was like, क्योंकि माहौल बहुत सीरियस सा लग रहा था और मैंने सोचा कुछ मस्ती कर ले.
Correct.
Because ऐसे ही होते हैं public speakers. आप नहीं आके सीरियस बातें सीरियस जगह पे सीरियस बातें ही करते रहोगे. Have a little bit of twist and hence you'll be likable. If you're doing what everyone is doing stereotypically, you won't be likable. So for you to be likable, you have to do something different. Do something nice.
Basically,
Yeah.
जो है वो रहो.
ये वाला जो सर है ना, ये अब मैं बना हूँ.
Absolutely correct.
बट जब आप ये बन जाते हो ना, यू बिकम अ सुपर पावर. अब मैं वो हूँ जो मैं हूँ, बट टू बिकम एंड अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of breaking.
Yeah.
Like Arijit Singh, I was doing a show and recently he's also said this on podcast.
Yeah.
उनकी आवाज ये थी नहीं, उन्होंने तोड़ा है अपनी आवाज को, तोड़ते try to find more blah 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 blah. He's made this voice of his. You find that once you've practiced enough. But has he glorified his practice? No. Which is why we keep saying,
Yeah.
don't glorify your hard work.
Absolutely.
मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, मैं हूँ, पर्दे के पीछे करो.
Correct.
हार्ड वर्क पर्दे के पीछे करो, प्रोडक्ट को बाहर आने दो. So confidence comes out when the hard work is behind the scenes. If the hard work is also visible to everyone,
Yeah.
so
Be who you are.
Be
I
who
think
you
that's
are.
absolutely.
yeah.
You know, एक अच्छा ट्रेंड आया है आई थिंक OTT की वजह से. You know, people have started liking content, honest content,
Honest content, yes.
not necessarily acting.
Yeah.
The content has to be good.
100%. सर बहुत स्मार्ट हो गए लोग.
Content.
उनको पता है कब आप फेक कर रहे हो, कब आप हाँ, उनको पता है ये बातें, ये बकवास कर रहे हैं, ये सिर्फ पैसे मिले इसलिए बोल रहे हैं. जो सच है वो लोगों को पता है.
कोई सच्चाई नहीं है.
Yeah.
So that is where I think that candid approach, the
It helps.
right content, it helps.
It helps.
And the more honest you are, the more glued onto the ground you are, I think it pays.
And honesty तो help करेगी सर at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
कितना फेक कर लोगे?
Absolutely.
फेक कर करके आदमी कितना फेक कर लेगा? You'll fall flat on your face.
Absolutely.
If I try to be you today,
Yeah.
और मैं एक कंपनी खोल लूँ जो एजुकेशन फाइनेंस कर ले, क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है इसमें पैसे हैं, मैं कितना काम कर लूंगा मैं इसमें? मतलब बस एक तो हफ्ता चलेंगे फिर तो मेरी जिंदगी खराब. So you know, do what you do
Be
best.
truthful to yourself.
Be truthful to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think that is what I have learned.
Yeah.
So ये एक बुरा एक्सपीरियंस की बात होगी.
Yes.
ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर हो गया यार जिसमें you were unstoppable. You know, like divine, invincible.
सर ऐसे भी बहुत है.
एक बताओ.
Unstoppable
जितने बताना चाहो.
नहीं मतलब unstoppable तो पता है, there are, on the hindsight, if you've prepared very well, there are far more good days than bad days.
Yeah.
You know, of
The
course.
probability of you doing well is more when you have prepared, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. The probability is great.
Yeah.
And I think, good that you asked when the divine kicks in, because as an artist,
Yeah.
when you get into that flow of things, right, is when you've achieved it.
Absolutely.
And I think that happens to me more often than not on every show, nowadays especially. Because I disconnect from the world the moment I pick up the mic and say, check, check. From my first sound check to my ending note on a show, I think the divine kicks in.
So divinity takes over, right?
It
You
does.
believe in that, right?
It does. It does. Because then I'm a different person. वो stage pe, then you're a different person. I'm not like this. I'm a very different person. And that sort of comes in, I don't know how. My best friend once told someone else, कोई आया था मेरे पास and they were asking how to be a good anchor like you. And I started speaking something. So he stopped me midway. He's like, इसको मत पूछ, इसको खुद को नहीं पता. You know, where is that so natural?
Like so quest and you discovered yours.
Yeah, like मुझे खुद को नहीं पता ये हुआ कैसे. I just kept working. I never had a process. I just kept working. मैंने इतनी गलतियां की है. मैं बॉलीवुड चैट शो करता था. I remember मैं बाहुबली मूवी का इंटरव्यू ले रहा था. And the star cast was sitting next to me और मैंने कूल बनने के लिए फालतू सवाल पूछ लिए. मैंने राणा डगुपति को पूछ लिया था कि क्या पूछा था. That time that it was a very big question कि कटप्पा ने बाहुबली को क्यों मारा.
Really?
वो 5 साल between the first and the second movie, it was a big climax, right? क्यों मारा भाई, हुआ क्या, ऐसे क्यों? तो I remember I asked राणा डगुपति कि कभी किसी ने ऐसे कोशिश नहीं की आपको ड्रंक ऑन करके try to get your secret out. यार बता यार ये क्यों, because you guys kept the secret so well.
Correct.
That question wasn't taken well by people. I was abused on social media.
Really?
Because I then realized कि सामने जो बैठा है वो आपका दोस्त नहीं है. आप उसको कुछ भी फालतू सवाल नहीं पूछ सकते. Because वहाँ जो लोग बैठे हैं, they will rip you apart.
Yeah. He's making you, because of his humbleness, he's making you comfortable. Yeah.
अरे sir, I can't even tell you, chat में लड़ाई हो गई. कि साउथ वाले तो इतने अच्छे होते हैं, प्रॉब्लम तो नॉर्थ वालों की। मैंने कहा अरे ये कहाँ चला, ये तो मैंने कोई नया फाइट शुरू करा दिया कि नॉर्थ वाले तो कुछ भी सवाल पूछ लेते हैं, साउथ वाले कितने हम्बल होते हैं। और चैट में लोग खुद ही भिड़े जा रहे हैं। अब नॉर्थ साउथ के झगड़े भी शुरू हो गए चैट में मेरे साथ, एक सवाल की वजह से। देयर आर सम 16,000 कमेंट्स और बीच में लोग एक दूसरे को धमकी दे रहे हैं। आई एम लाइक ओह माय गॉड, व्हाट हैव आई स्टार्टेड? आई डिडंट इवन नो एक सवाल, बट
Did you apologize?
I didn't get an opportunity to, but had I got one, I would have definitely.
But in the comments or whatever, but
नहीं मैं तो दूर ही
did reply. You were sitting on the fence. Sorry, sitting on the fence.
मैं वहाँ गया ही नहीं, मैं पीछे बैठा हुआ था। And I think beyond a point of time, it became entertaining to watch that because I was like, ये क्या हो गया यार, ऊपर नीचे। But I think, you know, you can't control the outcome when you are on stage. Hence, when the divinity takes over, it's nicer. Let the flow take over.
You tend to lose control, and you must lose control also.
You
when
must
stability has to.
वरना सीखोगे भी कैसे? You know, वो ठीक है, just be in the flow. मुझे नहीं पता था मेरे वो एक सवाल का इतना apprehensive सा response आएगा। But then I was like, ठीक है, पूछ लिया, चलो कुछ नहीं तो लोग ही entertain हो गए। 16,000 लोग कम से कम एक दूसरे से मिल तो लिए।
Engage हो।
I think that is an opportunity. Thank you guys. मैंने इतने लोगों को मिला है एक दूसरे से। So, as I said, right, take it to the sense of humor also. ये सर पकड़िए मत बैठ जाओ कि अरे यार ये क्या कर दिया मैंने।
Correct.
कोई बात नहीं, एक पॉइंट के बाद आप कॉफी लेके बैठ सो, चलो लेटर वो ये भी अच्छा है। So experience, yeah.
Definite experience.
So I think good days are very, very how do I say, very prominent these days. Touch wood. There are a lot of good days happening.
Yeah.
Because I think I've found my skin. You know, काम करते करते 15 साल से 13-14 साल हो गए. I found my skin now. So now I'm very comfortable. And I have more good days than bad days. So I can't really point out a good day because every show there are CXOs of these huge companies.
Yeah, I'm sure.
जो मुझे लगा भी नहीं था मैं कभी ऐसे लोगों से मिलूंगा भी.
Wonderful.
At this age, they are on WhatsApps with me. They are on, you know, the and I personally think if you do something well, the sort of access your art gives you, the sort of access hard work gives you,
Absolutely,
is unprecedented.
And let me tell you, even the CXO, I've been there.
Yeah.
Okay? At the age of 30, I became a CEO.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Sir, you're doing far better than us, sir. उल्टे side होना चाहिए sir. मुझे आपसे सवाल.
All I'm just trying to tell you is that even at that level,
Yeah.
I reached at this stage, you know, after entrepreneur, nothing is left, right? When nobody's giving you a job, you give yourself a job, right?
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss. So, you know, but we kind of also, I have realized that if we have to stay relevant,
Yeah.
you have to innovate. You have to learn every day, right?
Yeah.
So that I think that quest for new things or the learning
Yeah.
should never stop.
Should never stop.
Even you have achieved so much.
Hmm.
I'm sure every experience is giving you something or the other to learn.
100%.
Every experience.
100%.
Yeah.
And if you don't innovate, you become irrelevant.
Absolutely.
And becoming irrelevant is the biggest fear for anyone, not just a creative person.
Absolutely.
For a corporate world also, for a, you know, education finance company also.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have to innovate your ways of
Doing something new, right?
Exactly. You have to sort of do something.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think innovation is a part of life that always needs to be there.
Yeah. So the differential, what we are trying to, you know, bring here to our customers, to our audience is that, you know, the next show I'll be doing on the career counseling.
Okay.
You know, we just want to bring our audience a content which is actually missing.
Yeah.
You know, an information what they're actually looking for.
True. Very true.
And that's where we encourage people to send us questions, send their even voice notes on the, you know, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
We will try and make a highlight of the show. Yeah. So that's the idea.
But there are too many careers. All the best with that, sir, because there are too many careers.
Where I think we have an opportunity, right?
Yeah. Look at it on the hindsight. Yeah.
Yeah, in the hindsight. End of the day, being a finance company, you know, you give our Lakshmi where Saraswati is.
Yes. Oh, yes. Very, very rightly put. Yes.
As simple as that.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so the idea is to cut the jargon and bring the clarity. And that's where the opportunity is, basically. And that's where people are looking for. They're confused. So many things. So much of information.
Yeah.
So bombarding of information.
We call this the knowledge age for a reason, right? It's
So we have to cut
everywhere.
that noise, right? So that's what we are trying to achieve there. So I'll just come to the last. I mean, I have plethora of questions. I think the show can continue.
हम तो ऐसी बातें करते रात में कर सकते हैं सर। और बताइए घर में सब ठीक है?
Absolutely, all right. So हम presence over perfection की बात करते हैं. So what is the one line you want to give it to, you know, especially to our audience, that
Yeah.
how do you treat presence over perfection? I mean, what is your definition of
Presence
presence?
over perfection.
Yes,
You mean being in the
absolutely.
present?
When you are actually, it could be your outfit, it could be your,
Yeah.
how do you come across in front of your audience?
Yeah.
From that perspective,
See, I think so. Again, presence has multiple meanings.
Yeah.
Right. It has to be, especially in my line of work, a very strong presence in the moment comes from multiple factors. A, the way I look,
Yes.
to the way I smell, to the way I walk, to the way I talk, to the way I deal with situations. In show business, you're not paid for doing the right job. You're paid to do the right job when everything is wrong.
That's a good one.
You know, that is where the big money comes in. In show business, let's say when a show is planned on TV, right? A lot of things in between can go wrong. How you deal with that
Yeah.
is how successful you become. It's, let's say, for example, I'm an anchor for a show and something has gone wrong. Now I have to fill for 20 minutes like that day.
Yes.
The 2 hours that I had to fill in.
Yeah.
How well you do that is what makes your presence. So for anyone, especially who wants to be a public speaker, right? It is very, very important, first of all, for you to look good. Biggest confidence.
Sure.
Biggest confidence booster. अब अगर आपका शर्ट का साइज 42 है, आप 40 पहन के चले गए हो तो वैसे ही आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लो.
Absolutely.
Your clothes are like tight or like
yes.
That's not happening. I've done all those mistakes in life. So I come from, I've done abundance of mistakes in life. I've learned from them. So the what you wear is something very, very important.
Sure.
How you look is very, very important. You need to look sharp. You know, मुझे किसी ने कहा था, in show business, अगर मैं तुम्हें म्यूट पे भी देखूं ना तो तुम देखने लायक होने चाहिए. Wow. That's not necessarily कि आप अगर वो स्क्रीन पे टीवी पे कोई कॉर्पोरेट वर्क स्पेस में टीवी चल रहा है, आप देखने लायक होने चाहिए.
Wonderful. I think that's
a very good one. Because बहुत लोग आपको सुन नहीं रहे, वो तो सिर्फ देख रहे हैं. अगर आप दिखिए ऐसे रहे उसमें कौन दिखेगा आपको? You need to look very good. You need to look sharp. And it doesn't come from good looks. Let me tell you very honestly, and let me break this myth. A lot of people think they're not good looking. It is not about good looks. It's the way you groom yourself. There could be a lot of people who are just about average looking, but their camera presence is massive because they've groomed themselves so well.
Absolutely.
You know, so a lot of people say, अरे नहीं आप ऋतिक रोशन थोड़े ना जो आप अच्छे दिखोगे. नहीं sir, ये बहुत बड़ी गलतफहमी है.
Absolutely.
Groom yourself well. For example, if I may take the name.
Yes.
People might not like it, but I'll give a hint. There is a very loud anchor on TV. You know? Jo कहते हैं, the nation wants to know.
Oh, okay.
He's not perhaps the greatest looking man.
Absolutely.
He's groomed himself well. Rajat Sharma does Aapki Adalat. He's not the greatest looking man.
Yeah.
But he's groomed himself well on screen. Ye sab, it's a myth buster that you need to look amazing. No, you need to groom yourself very well.
Absolutely.
Look good. Feel good. I personally think smelling good is also very good.
Okay.
I personally think good because I think all of these things sort of play to your benefits because you should be a likable person.
Absolutely.
अगर मैं स्टेज पे जा रहा हूँ, आप मेरे साथ बैक स्टेज हो, अगर आप ही मुझे पसंद नहीं कर रहे हो तो मेरा तो कॉन्फिडेंस वैसे ही खत्म हो गया. You know, आपके आसपास तारीफें होती रहनी चाहिए. Okay. वो तारीफ पाने के लिए आपको वो काम भी करना चाहिए. Lot of people तो आपको exactly. Lot of people are hungry for appreciation, but काम तो करो appreciation लायक. अब आप अगर घटिया कपड़े, घटिया परफ्यूम, घटिया से बाल बनाए कहीं भी पहुंचो, कौन तारीफ करेगा? आपको कॉन्फिडेंस वैसे ही टूट जाएगा. 100 लोग आपको देख के कैसे?
Invest on yourself.
Yeah, invest on yourself and learn to speak well. Your last part is the speech and stage. पूरा काम तो उसके पीछे है.
Absolutely.
Look good, feel good, research very, very well before going on stage. Research very, very, very well. Try to make things relatable to the audience. आप उनकी भाषा में बात करो, अपनी भाषा में बात मत करो. So all of these things make my presence.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. It's not only about looks and
no.
It's about that also, by the way.
About that
also, but it's about researching your topic, 100%. Your audience, 100%. Who's going to listen to you.
Oh, yes. And can I give you the greatest to the viewers actually?
Yeah.
जब पहले मैं 50-60-70 शो कर रहा था ना, तो क्राउड में ऐसे लोग बैठा करते थे ऐसे, और मुझे देख रहे, ये मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस स्किल हो जाता था कि ये ऐसे घूर क्यों रहे हैं भाई, मुझे मैंने क्या गलत बोल दिया कुछ, ये ऐसे, बिकॉज होता है ना जब आप बातें कर रहे हो और सामने से रिएक्शन ऐसे डेड स्टेयर आ रहा है, यू आर लाइक अरे यार ये क्या कर दिया मैंने, गलत बोल रहा हूँ मैं, कुछ तो, एंड फिर आप अपना भूल जाते हो, फिर आप वो बोलने लग जाते हो जो वो सुनना चाहते हैं, you know, you dilute your own purpose and you start speaking. But sir, the greatest, how do I say, enlightenment happened in my life when I spoke to one of those people. मैंने जाके पूछ लिया प्रॉब्लम क्या है भाई, ऐसे क्यों देख रहे हो तुम?
Exactly.
मतलब यार स्माइल कर दे, कुछ तो कर दे, ऐसे क्यों देख रहे हो? He was like, I was in awe with what you're doing.
Wow. So that was the other. So it was a flip versus reality was different.
It was a flip side. I was like, इसे लग रहा है मैं गलत कर रहा हूँ, ये तो ये सोच रहा है, ये ऐसे कर कैसे रहा है? Hence, I learned something great. Our human mind, we make our own barriers. मैं भी तो सोच सकता था कि ये शायद सोच रहा है मैं कितना अच्छा कर रहा हूँ, बट यहाँ तक तो मैं गया ही नहीं. And a lot of public speakers lose their plot because of crowd reaction. So if you're a public speaker and you think the crowd isn't reacting well, don't think they're not liking it.
So Aman, that reminds me actually, to a very important lesson which I picked up during my initial days of career at GE Capital. One company which I really admire, which gave me the initial grounding.
Was that your first job?
That was my first job actually.
Always special.
Technically first job in the financial services.
Yeah.
But I was selling Pager for the first 9 months of my career. So after that, financial services, that was my first job.
Of course.
Wonderful experience. So there, as a part of the Six Sigma training program, you have to go through a module called Perception versus Reality. Okay. So what they do, they'll make you sit in a group and they'll be giving you a situation and you have to act. And they'll give you a role.
Okay.
That this is the situation. You have to act as a manager. Okay. What will be your response to this particular situation? Okay. And you have to be yourself. You can't, whatever you think as a manager, what do you think is the right solution? You act.
Okay.
So 5 people in a group. So suppose there are total 10 people, 5 in a group 1, 5 in a group 2. They will just view your answer as a manager. Okay. And you will not believe that has such an important impact on my career. When I actually heard the responses from those 2 groups. Group 1, I thought is well receiving what I'm saying as a manager. Very well receiving. Group 2, I think, was completely against. I mean, as the way they were looking at me or whatever, as you just rightly said. Group 1 was actually laughing on my responses.
Okay.
Group 2, who was sounding very, very serious, they said, your responses were absolutely right in order. So that's what the perception versus reality gap. We thought, I perceived the group 1 is going to like my responses.
Correct.
And group 2 is not going to like my responses. Where it went absolutely the other way around. So that's where I think I realized as an individual, as a human being, the looks could be misleading.
Yeah. Looks are deceptive.
Deceptive. Could be completely deceptive.
Yeah.
So you have to be very clear as a manager, what is the perception you are creating and what actually is the reality. If you feel that true,
Wow.
I think you will be able to get your task done very, very quickly.
Now that you said that, I was just thinking of this one of the days when I was sitting with my team, and there's this one person who takes everything that I say very, with a question mark on his face. The other one takes it with a smile on the face.
Yeah.
But the one who does the better job is the one who has the question mark on the face.
Absolutely.
And I was, when I was saying, I was like, "Arey, isko to samajh mein hi nahi aa raha, ye karega kaise?" But I think the way people process information is different. We shouldn't digress from what we are saying. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Great, Aman. It's been such a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks for.
I think I learned more than you have learned.
No, definitely not at all. In fact, this pleasure is all mine, learning from such a energetic, youth like you, and it's been an honor.
Thank you.
And I wish that we continue to have guests like you who can continue to spread the positive energy, to our audience. And I'm sure our audience must have picked a lot of things. And I'm certain this episode will go very well and will receive a tremendous amount of, traction. as well as the likes. So thank you once again, and I wish you all the very best. You are pretty young and you just got married, so have a great married life. Good to know that that has actually grounded you, and
It has. Yes, totally.
yeah.
Yes.
So have a good life, and thank you so very much for for bringing such wisdoms and such truth about your your career. It's been wonderful to host you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I think more than anything else, what you're doing, we were just speaking about that before the podcast. In this age of information, right information is very important. And I think through on the point, and I like no jargon, just clarity. That should hit with everyone, so because right information is something that people need access to, because everyone has access to information.
Yes.
Right information is what you're giving. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Your energy is contagious, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow. That was such an interesting conversation with Aman. So if your heart races before speaking, it's good news. That's energy, not your enemy. Use it. आज अमन ने हमें दिखा दिया कि every shaky voice can become stage ready. If this episode helped even a bit, share it with someone who needs that push today. Subscribe and like On The Point, where you get real conversation, no jargon, just clarity. So stay smart, stay present. मिलते हैं next episode में.